Yo, what up, everybody? So, real quick, today we're going to talk about this thing called the 90-10 rule, or 80-20 rule, 70-30 rule, 60-40 rule, 100% rule. Does not matter. It's the rule, and computer's on. Anyway, so 90-10 rule. Now, if this actually started or was sparked by a conversation I had earlier today with the client when we were talking about nutrition and the body changing, and what exactly does it take when it comes to your nutrition and your transformation and how big of a role it plays. And she asked me, she was, Coach, is it really like 90% nutrition or 80% nutrition? She actually said 90. 80% nutrition. And my response to her was, well, it depends, right? So I'm going to start with this in the color of choice today. It's purple. It's my favorite color, by the way. So I'm going to write 90, 10. Now, the idea behind this ratio is that if you have a nutrition program, right, that allots you, let's say I usually start my folks at 4 meals a day to simplify the process of them improving their habits. And there it is. I kind of gave away too much too soon. But let's say you start 4 meals a day, 7 days a week, right? You got 4 meals at 7 days a week equals 28 meals for that week, right? So for the week, let's say this current week, right? You got 28 meals that you're going to consume by the time you hit Saturday. So the 90-10 rule dictates that 90% of those meals have to be on point, right? They got to be within the scope of what's been prescribed for you. You know, a certain grams of proteins, certain grams of carbs, certain grams of fat, right? So you have a specific macro and calorie ratio that you have to abide by. 10% of those meals are what we call cheat meals, right? So out of those 28 meals, you can cheat 10% of them, which will put you at 2.8. So here we don't round up, we round down. Unless it's your weight, then we round up. Just kidding. But anyway, so on the meals, I say 2. 2 will be cheat meals, right? During that specific week. Now, the reason why we kind of allow this is because we specifically focus on this idea called lifestyle, right? There's no point in starving yourself and putting yourself in a confined box, right? Getting dumped on with all kinds of stress and what I call trash, all kinds of stress, and eventually you pop open like a jack-in-the-box and you go bananas and you eat everything blue in the sun. So instead, we'll go 10% and we'll give, 2 to 3 cheat meals to give you a sense of normalcy for that week. But here's the deal, right? Most people's problems is not this idea of cheat meals or eating clean. It's the idea of something that I call discipline. Right? We're not disciplined enough to just stay at 2 cheat meals a week, let alone trying to stay 90% clean out of the 28 meals, right? Because before this discipline, it requires commitment. So if you don't have these 2 things in place, then it doesn't matter what happens here because you're not going to stick to the 90% rule. You're going to end up cheating more than you're supposed to. For example, out of that 90%, right, let's just say one of your meals is supposed to be 28 grams of protein, 36 grams of carbs, and 12 grams of fat. We call that 4 blocks. It's a way for us to measure exactly how much you're eating and teach you how to build and put this together without freaking going bananas or counting calories and going crazy. Although calories are important, we give you a general idea of where to be without going insane unless you're getting ready for something very specific like a photo shoot or a competition like a bodybuilder or a bikini show. And again, before I move any further, if you're finding a lot of value in this, show me some love, right? Click on that love, hit me a like, comment below, let me know that you're watching this. Show me some love if you're finding some value. So if you're supposed to do this, right, 28 grams of protein, 36 grams of carbs, 12 grams of fat, you could essentially, right, this is one meal, you could essentially go over to Jack in the Box and get yourself a burger. I'll just put burger that equates to these macros. Now, if you do that, and one of your problems on attempting to live a healthier, better lifestyle, is taking out all this food that's not really assisting the way your metabolism is working and how healthy you're trying to become. If you get a burger that equates to that from a fast food restaurant, is that part of your 90% or is that part of your 10%? It fits your macros, right? But it can also be considered a cheat. So what classifies whether or not this is part of your clean or part of your cheat? If it fits your macros, right? Again, not all calories are created equal. So, in my humble opinion, right, and what I teach here at The Grind to all our clients is if it doesn't fit in discipline and commitment, then no, it doesn't fit part of your 90%. It's going to go on your 10%. And this is why. Because most people's problems when they go into attempting to live, again, a healthier lifestyle is the ability to control their intake, which is typically controlled by sugar and excess fat. So excess sugar, excess carbohydrates, excess fat. So a burger from Jack in the Crack, right? Let me see if I can draw Jack real quick. Kind of looks like Jack. I gotta work on my drawing game. So if you get a burger from Jack in the Box, and it tastes so good that it just sparks this idea of you trying to control your intake, but you don't have self-control, then you're gonna sabotage this 90%, even this 10%, because of the simple fact that you're going to justify because it fit your macros that it was okay to eat. Now here's the deal. If you do that once, you're going to do it twice, you're going to do it 3 times, 4 times, before you know it, you've lost control. So, is your nutrition 90% of your goal? 90% of what's needed? Is it 10%? I think it's 100%. Now, this is why. Because when it comes to nutrition and your meals and your ability to get the results that you desire, 100% commitment is required to whatever it is that's been designed for you to get the results that you want. And 100% discipline is required in order to satisfy and fulfill that commitment that you made. Okay? So if you're obese and overweight, then it's an intake or a starvation problem. It starts off with an intake problem. And then if intake meaning you take in too much food, too many calories, and you realize like, man, I don't want to be like this no more. Like I'm just tired of feeling like no energy. I'm tired of not fitting in my clothes. I can't even bend over, tie my shoes, or touch my feet. Like I can't even wipe my butt when I use the restroom. Like I'm just tired of feeling that way. So then now, what happens is you start starving yourself. You start eating less and less and less, which becomes way too less. So you're not even taking enough calories and nutrients to satisfy the way you feel. You don't even know what your body fat is. So you just start, essentially you start like sabotaging what your metabolism could potentially help you do to burn fat, which is why we make everybody, I'll point over there to my InBody machine, which is why we don't focus on weight, we focus on body composition, on your body fat and your lean muscle mass, your skeletal muscle mass, because all those things play a role. So there's 100% requirement needed on discipline and commitment to the program. To this bad boy right here. These two equate to this. There has to be a program that you're going by, that your body follows, in order for you to be able to track and measure the outcome that you desire. Hopefully that makes sense. Like you got to know where you are and what you're doing, right? You've got to test it out a little bit. And on that test, there's going to be data that gets accumulated. And based on that data, you start making adjustments to the program that gets you to your outcome. And this is final. And this will take time. 100% discipline commitment to the program will get you your final outcome. Now, how do you do that? Well, one, you identify what's the problem in the first place, right? If you look yourself in the mirror and you see something you don't like, then what do you think is the problem? The number one problem? It's you. You're the number one problem. But let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay, just as long as you know that. Because when you know that, you can make the change required. So you start with the problem, right? Which is us, right? In this case, you. And then you make the decision, right? You decide to commit. And then you create that commitment. I will eat 28 meals a week. There'll be 100% to the program. And I will do ABC to make sure that I'm disciplined in order to follow the program to get to the desired outcome. Finding value in this, go ahead and hit that like button. Actually, give me a love. Give me like a heart. Or give me a comment. Let me know if this is even providing some value or where you would like to see me go next with these videos when I shoot them for you. But you decide to commit, right? Discipline is going to be something that you start to accumulate and that you start to develop in your lifestyle, right? To the program that's been created to you by your body transformation expert. If you don't got one, no, I'm just kidding. But for real, the program that's been prescribed to you, which in turn eventually will get you to your final outcome. Ladies, this is how simple it is. This is how simple it is. It is not complicated. It is very difficult, yes, but it's not complicated, okay? 100% is what's required of you to get the results that you desire. And the reason why you've got to go all in is because you do not have the habits required to get the outcome you desire. Not yet, but you will. And it requires that you commit 100%, that you decide first to commit, right? Which will eventually instill the discipline that you need to the program to get you the final outcome. And that's lean, tight, and toned. Okay? Lean, tight, and toned. Whatever that looks like for you. You notice I didn't say skinny or losing weight or skinny fat. Lean, tight, and toned. Whatever that looks like to you. But if you're up there in those numbers, like, you're not going to get the outcome you desire. I mean, you're not. So, hopefully you found some value in this. If you did, show me some love. Somewhere along this place, there'll be a link for you to click on to take you to an application if you want some more help or if you desire help on how we can show you how we do it and how we can guarantee the success that you're looking for. And there might be some goodies somewhere around here too, like maybe a 7-day detox for you to kind of test the waters and see what your body is capable of doing by deciding, committing, staying disciplined. 7-day detox program. It's not the fix all, but it's a start closer to your outcome. Anyway, thanks for watching. Coach Felix coming at you from Fitness Grind, Body Sculpting. Love you. Peace. Talk to you soon.